This is the lesson, the second part of Comparing Bits and Pieces, Investigation 2.2 video lesson. The new warm-up today, which one is the better deal? Is it 14 ounces for $1.14 or 45 ounces for $2.65? Well, what you want to find out is how much are you paying for 1 ounce? How much are you paying for 1 ounce? So that tells me that I have to somehow get 14 ounces down to 1. How do I do that? How do I get 14 ounces? What operation? I could add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Well, adding is not going to work. When we're trying to get a unit rate, we don't normally subtract. So it would be 14 divided by 14 equals 1 ounce. This is the abbreviation. OZ is the abbreviation for the word ounces. Well, whatever I do to 14, I have to do over here. So if I take $1.14 and divide it by 14, I get 0.0814285, a really long number. But I can round that to the nearest cent. So 1 ounce for 8 cents. All right, now I need to do the same thing over here. Or is it better to buy 48 ounces for a couple cents more? So $2.65 divided by 45, 0.058 repeating. Or do I want 1 ounce for 6 cents? Really, the better deal is this. Now it's going to really depend on, are you going to use all 45 ounces? Or do you really only need this much? If that's the case, I would go with this one even though it's 2 cents more. I would end up wasting all of this if I didn't use it all. All right, we are on part B of your notebook. So down at the bottom, we've finished the gummy worm part of Peter and Jared. Now I need to figure out what is their unit rate. What is their per 1? So my first question is, every time Jared gets 1, so pink is all Jared, how much does Peter get? Every time Jared gets 1 segment, Peter gets how much? Well, again, per Jared. I'm looking for per Jared, or 1. How do I make the 2 1? Do I multiply or divide? Just like we did in the warm-up, we divide by 2. Divide by 2. So every time Jared gets 1, Peter gets 3/2 or 1 1/2. 3/2 or 1 1/2. Same thing over here, but now we're talking Peter. So if Peter gets 1, so divide by 3, so I get 1. Our new unit rate or our new ratio, this would be 1 to 3/2. What would this be? Well, I got to divide by 3. And this is 1 to 2/3. So here's another kind of cool, kind of weird thing. You can use fractions with ratios. All right, but you will, I don't want to say never, but I don't think you will ever see ratios written within fractions. You can, however, use a fraction with a ratio. So when Peter gets 1, Jared gets 2/3. If you need to pause, go ahead and do so you can write all of this down. Moving on. But right at the bottom, last part, Caleb and Isaiah are brothers. They share a 14-segment chewy fruit worm according to their age. How old could they be? Well, if you remember back to the last parts we did, let's go back to Crystal and Alexa. Crystal was 12, Alexa was 6, and their chewy fruit worm had 18 parts because 12 plus 6 is 18. So let's think about this. 12, I just want to write this down so we don't forget. And Jared and Peter were 10 and 15, right? It's just 10 and 15 and 12 and 6. So Caleb gets 8 out of the 14 segments. So he gets 8/14, and Isaiah gets 6 out of the 14. Well, what would their ages be? Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Isaiah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're going to answer A and B, and they're asking us from question A, so Alexa and Crystal, remember, they were 12 and 6, and their whole fruit worm was 18 segments. They want to know what fractions. So what part did Crystal get out of this entire thing? Well, she got 12 out of 18. Go ahead and pause this and write Alexa's down. And see if you can do Jared and Peter's as well. All right, Alexa would have gotten 6 out of 18. And depending how you decided which one to use, I think we just have to go with 10 and 15. So 10 plus 15 is 25. So Jared's would be 10 out of 25, and Peter's would be 15 out of 25. Pause if you need to write stuff down. Summary. How does the ratio of segments of Caleb and Isaiah compare to their fractions? Okay, so I got to go back. The ratio, so they were 8 and 6, and it was 14. So it's 14 segments. Caleb got, oh dear, 8 and 6. 8 out of 14. Isaiah got 6 out of 14. And if I wrote their ratio, the ratio would be 8 to 6. Make an observation about this. What do you notice? Write that observation down. Pause the video and write that observation down. All right. In a ratio, no, let's not do in a ratio. A ratio is made of 2 parts. A fraction is made of a part and a whole. Pause to write it down. Go ahead and write your homework down. Your homework is due Tuesday. Tomorrow. November 15th. You can go ahead and close your Chromebook and get started on your homework.